Okay, thank you. I just want to introduce that we've got some great people here to talk with us a little bit today. We've got Robert and Bryce from Lean Street. We want to welcome you.
Yeah,
Thank you for having a quick chat with us.
Thank you.
First, I think what's going to be most instructive is tell us a little bit about Lean Street, where you fit in the industry, what you do. Tell us a bit about
I'll be
you
happy
and your
to.
company.
So Lean Stream, we're a manufacturer's representative in Silicon Valley. So we've been very fortunate to work with Silicon Valley, a lot of the leaders in the industry in the past 30 years. So we've seen a lot of trends happen in manufacturing over the 30 years. So that's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So on that note, I want to ask you, we're at the moment of AI. Everything's AI everywhere. We've been seeing that pretty heavily for the last year and a half. What are you seeing right now inside of your customers as far as some of the big opportunities that they can gain now? Not looking forward 5 years. Right now, what are you seeing as far as opportunities that they're not yet fully seizing? What are you seeing?
The opportunities, the issues that we have, that we've been having for the past 20, 30 years, is we've been operating the same way for the past 20, 30 years. So the opportunity is going to be, we've got silos of information, and then we have to go ahead and take experts to decipher that information and then collaborate. And so it just takes a lot of time. So the opportunity is increasing asset velocity and the asset velocity basically maximize the capital expenditures and maximize the investment in labor. And so that's where AI is going to really help us a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bryce, I want to get your perspective on this. Are you seeing this the same? Talk to me a little bit about some of the opportunities for performance gains. What are you seeing there?
So what I'm seeing with a lot of my customers is that they're trying to solve the inefficiency delta with labor. One of the things that we see is you're going to have a highly skilled engineer of 20, 30 years operating one segment of the production floor. And that skill set doesn't need to be necessarily monitoring different data sheets. It doesn't need to be sent looking at different variables over and over again. That experience needs to be greater utilized in growing the business or growing different products and solving different complex problems. So where AI is going to be coming in is as long as you have good data sheets, you're going to be able to reduce that labor needed for inefficient production, like assets or jobs, and move them into doing something more meaningful and growing the business.
Okay, so I actually want to talk about that a little bit. One of the things I think you just hit on it a minute ago when you said, the age of AI is exposing how good we are at our data. It's gonna air all of the dirty laundry, but there's a lot of really good, so much good work that's been done in the data. And we know that there's just an incredible wealth of knowledge from the people that are sitting on the floor. The problem is there aren't enough of them, right?
Yes.
And so are you seeing that same trend? Are you seeing the ability for AI? I think people are wondering if they should feel threatened as to whether or not it's going to take your job. We're kind of seeing the opposite. There's not enough of these jobs available. This is taking up some of that gap. Are you seeing some of those same needs in your customers?
Yes, most definitely. I mean, we see a lot of challenges, and we need to increase our efficiencies. We need to improve our quality, and we need to pick up, again, the speed of being able to do that. So what we see is, I don't see a decrease of labor or jobs. We need AI to help us do our jobs.
Yeah.
And if I could piggyback that off of that just a minute, with labor in the United States is at an all-time high comparable to all the other countries that we manufacture across the world. What you're going to see is a lot of manufacturing capacity come back to the United States aided by AI, because where a company in Asia will have 4 lines operating with X amount of people, and then in America, we could have 8 lines using the same amount of labor, but increased efficiency by, again, augmenting how much time do you spend on the process. If you have the experienced engineers working on multiple different lines because they're aided by AI doing all the other things that would take up a lot of their time, we're able to keep the cost the same and increase our production.
So let me ask you that. I want to piggyback on that. Is this where you think AI is the most impactful in electronics manufacturing right now? Or do you see it in some other spaces?
I would have to say yes, because corporations are going to ask themselves, how much is your time worth? Okay.
Yeah. What about you, Robert? Is that where you're seeing it?
What I see the greatest impact is going to have is just making our job easier. It's going to help us really identify our unique contribution to the product, to the company, be recognized for our contribution and making our job easier.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more. Okay, then I'll ask one more that's a little more forward looking, and it's really hard. I just came from some meetings in Davos where I'm listening to people who are like really forecasting the next 3, 4, 5 years of AI, and that's really far when we're looking at AI.
Yeah.
We are tasked with being, within the factory with our customers, actually listening to what's happening right now.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking, what do I tell our customers if they say, I don't know if I'm ready for AI. I don't even know if I'm going to be ready for it in like 3 to 5 years. What does it even look like? And we're getting asked a lot. What do you see it looking 3, 4, 5 years down the road? Hard to predict, but what do you see?
What I see is a lot of junior level that are going to become middle managers rising up the ranks that have a lot more experience with AI and their use cases. As this industry changed, we hit a plateau for the last 20 years in terms of innovation. It did not change. And now you have this incredible rush of new talent that's coming up and rising from the lower management to the middle management. And that's where the application is going to be based. It's going to be saving time for the lower engineers and being applied by the middle engineers.
Yeah. It's an interesting perspective. I want to come back to that in a minute. Let me get your thoughts though first.
I totally agree with Bryce on this, that it's going to impact, it's going to make our job a lot easier. And so the people who have all that knowledge of manufacturing, they're getting up in the age and they need to be able to transfer that knowledge to this younger generation being successful. And that's where AI is going to really, really help them successful and making the business electronics manufacturing successful. And we've been working so hard, putting in so much labor into our jobs to be able to get the results we are. We're going to be able to use AI to make it easier so we don't have to go put in 60-hour work weeks.
Yeah.
We could actually go home to our families.
Yeah. Or better yet, and let me just ask you this, is interesting as I think about, you made a really good point when you said we're seeing a lot of people that are actually leveling up at a faster pace than in ever before over the last 20, 30 years in this industry. You're seeing people that are coming in and it took them 15, 20 years to gain the skills to get that level of seniority. People that are not AI native are able to put these tools in their hands. They're getting so good. It's leveling up where they sit and their reach into the organization much more quickly. It's kind of what you mentioned. I think that is honestly what I'm starting to see play out. A year or two ago, it's like, this is the promise of it, where it's really playing out. I think that's a very good point. Is that it's leveling people up and it's giving that ability to those people that are trying to retire and want to retire to have a place to have. There's now investigatory power. There's tools that can do some of the investigatory work that they've done. And there's a way to transfer some of that knowledge, that tacit knowledge, before they're gone.
And we got to make our future generation successful.
Absolutely. Yeah, they want these tools. They expect these things to be in their day-to-day on the job. They're not going to come into manufacturing if they don't exist. And I completely agree.
And me being a patriotic American, I just love it when I'm seeing more onshoring, and more onshoring. We have, and this new wave of engineers that are coming up, they know how to ask questions of the older generation. Why is this inefficient? Why are we doing it this way? Maybe there should be another way. What if we can augment our reliance on just manually checking these data sheets? And why can't we automate that? That's where it's going to be a key player.
Yeah. Let me ask one last question for you. Sorry, I know I said that before. I think that it's no question. If you walk the floors of our customers in the last couple of years.
If
you walk the lines of our customers the last couple of years, the level of complexity to what they're putting out, it's unlike what we used to see 5, even 10 years ago, to say nothing of before. I think that this is an area, and I don't know if your customers are feeling the same, just that level of complexity matched with the talent gap. This is not, I think they're really going to struggle to surmount unless they're able to bring some of these AI tools in to take up even some of that gap. Do you see that?
There's no question about it. The level of complexity that we've got with technology is just overwhelming. It is overwhelming. And so AI's and the data sets and being able to take that data and make it easier in analyzing that to make decisions much quicker and efficiently. And the thing is, things are really cost driven. So we need to be able to keep track of our costs, reduce our costs, and know where we're at. And that's where AI is going to help us out a lot.
And one of the things that I've had a lot of meetings with large OEMs here based in our territory of the Silicon Valley. And one thing that they've really struggled with is the variation of production. If you go to one CM, they might do something different. And they go to another CM, they might do something different, but they might not know why is there a variation on a certain particular process. AI can come in and make that variation known to the OEM and make it implement and gain control over the process.
Yeah, this is a separate conversation we should take for another time. I think this is one of the real powers of AI. So we are starting to see is the ability for data sharing has always been kind of fraught between CMO and we know that, right? And now you can actually start to have agents pull the pieces down that are relevant without worrying about whether or not how it's going to get used as part of that relationship. And the agents can start to make some of the deterministic reasoning on, what's reasonable for them to share to do exactly what you just said, to improve those processes.
I mean, think about AI. It's going to help us collaborate and communicate a whole lot more and quicker and faster.
And discover.
And discover.
There's real issues that we're starting to see it taking up. It's exciting. Well, thanks to both of you.
Pleasure.
Robert
Thank you
and
for
Bryce,
having us.
Mainstreams, thank you very, very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Thanks.